All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a big slate tonight, October 30th. Last night wasn't the best, but we did hit our best bet, so I guess that's inspiring. I guess that's a positive we can pull. But that record in the bottom right corner of the screen, I am not pleased with, so we definitely have to dig ourselves out of that hole. We are 50% of the season now, which that means this past week was terrible because we were so far above 500 just a few days ago. But it is what it is. We're transparent. We haven't had a couple nights in a row, and that's what it is. Hopefully, you guys are still riding or at least enjoying the content. I'm not an expert, never said to be an expert. I'm giving you my picks, my thought process. You know, you don't have to take every single one of these picks or anything like that. So I'm just giving you guys what I'm playing. So if I'm losing, and my picks are losing, you know, it's real. Like I'm taking these plays that I'm putting out there. So it is what it is. But let's hopefully we can dive out of this. You can tell we're still struggling with the voice, still a little bit raspy. But let's jump right into it. October 30th, we have plenty of games on the board. But let's jump right into the Celtics. Wizards. Washington, 2-point favorites. The total is 225. This is tough for me, guys. You guys know I'm a huge Celtics fan. The Celtics are getting points here. I almost want to take the Celtics, but no Marcus Smart. And though he hasn't seemingly been crucial to this team, I can't trust the Celtics team yet. So I'm not going to lie. Celtics Wizards, I'm staying away from. I'm going to have enough rooting interest anyways, being a massive Celtics fan, but I'm staying away from this game today, even with the Celtics catching a couple points. I'd love to see that, but I just don't trust them yet. So moving on to a good one, a spot that I really do like, Knicks, Pelicans. So the Knicks are only 5.5-point favorites. Pelicans, you know, they did play last night too. I'm confused at this line. I almost feel like Vegas knows something we don't know because I think the Knicks are huge here. They're 4-1 in their last 5 against the spread. New Orleans is 3-6. Like I'm confused as to why this line is so low. I know statistically speaking and, you know, historically speaking, I think the Pelicans have gotten the better of the Knicks in their recent meetings, but the Knicks are a great team this year. They are. They're playing really, really well, and I feel like they're not getting the respect they deserve in this game. So I am going Knicks minus 5.5. And keep an eye on the pinned comment below because that is where my final ticket's going to be. You know, it's early right now. We're going through a lot of games. Keep an eye on that pinned comment because that's where my final ticket's going to be. If any lines change, any additions to the ticket, any subtractions, that type of thing, pinned comment, all the updates there. Moving on, Orlando and the Pistons. Orlando are Detroit, actually. It's 5.5-point favorites. The total is 207. This is just a funny one. A 1-5 team playing an 0-4 team. Like, what's there to expect? I don't know, right? Like, who knows what there is to expect? But what I will say is I am, like, weirdly ready to pull the trigger on the over here. It's only 207, and I know that these teams both weren't scoring too many points to start the year, but if you look at their game logs, that's because they have a couple outliers of sub 100-point games that are really weighing their averages down, and I think the books are falling, you know, victim, and it's a trap for that. I think both of these teams can easily get you 200, or sorry, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Both these teams can get you 110 points, 105 points, but we don't even need that much. We need each of these teams to give us 104 points, and we hit the over. So I'm in on the over there. Again, keep an eye on the pinned comment for the final ticket, but Magic, Pistons over 207. I'm leaning that way big time right now. All right, Hawks, 76ers. What a tough game to judge here. This is probably one of those games, just like the Bulls-Knicks the other night, that I just didn't have the best read on, so I stayed away from. I'm probably doing the same thing here. Sixers are 3-point favorites. The total is 219. If anything, I would definitely lean Sixers. Like, I think that they are the better team, but the Hawks get up for big games, you know, and I believe Bogdanovich is playing, but I'm not sure. Joel Embiid's questionable, so there's a couple, you know, crucial players on each side that we don't know really where they're going here, but this is probably one that I just end up enjoying as a fan, as corny as that sounds, but I think that, you know, this is a very fair spread, and that total as well. Like, you never know, this could go defensive or offensive, so I'm going to enjoy this one, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below, because this is a very good game. I'm staying away from this one, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, Raptors, Pacers. Hey, so you know, these guys just played, what was it, 3 days ago or so? The Raptors beat them by 18, I think, if I don't have that correctly. Now Pacers are favored at home. I like the Raptors in this spot, but I'm not going to pull the trigger on it, okay? Like, the Raptors coming off of a game last night as well. But if I were to lean, I would still lean Raptors getting points, getting 3.5 points. I'm not pulling the trigger on this at all. And then the total, we've seen that the Raptors can really mess with over-unders. Like, you don't really, the Pacers too, I guess. The Pacers seem like a team that want to push the ball and stuff, and then all of a sudden they hit a couple unders. This is going to be another stay away game for me, guys, but I do see the Raptors probably pulling this one outright. Like, I just think they are genuinely a better team than people are giving them credit for. They are away, but I don't know if I really worry about the Raptors being an away team. They pretty much played like 2 years, I feel like, in a row as an away team during COVID. So I would lean Raptors here, but it's going to be tough for me to find this one on my final ticket. But who knows? Keep an eye on that pinned comment. We'll see if the Raptors are there. Heat, Grizzlies. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a really good game. The Grizzlies are 2-point favorites. And if the Heat didn't play last night and play, a good team like Charlotte, nationally televised game, I have a feeling that they would be favored in this game. But Memphis has them at their house, and Memphis is our 2-point favorites here. The total is 217.5. Both of those numbers are tempting because I think this Miami Heat, excuse me, I think this Miami Heat team is very, good. But on a back-to-back, I have a feeling this is going to be a tough one to pull the trigger on. Memphis is sneaky, really good against the spread. It's not even sneaky, I shouldn't say. Memphis is good against the spread. I have to lean towards Memphis here. But again, this is very similar to the Hawks and Sixers game that we have tonight too, that I go, wow, both these teams I like in this spot. I like the number they have. So Memphis I'd lean towards, but it's going to be tough for me to pull the trigger on this, especially we're batting 500 right now. We got to pick our spots wisely, So let's move on. San Antonio, Milwaukee, 7-point favorites over Spurs team that's been pretty good against the spread this year, but terrible straight up. I really like the Mavs here. I really like Milwaukee here. I think that 7 points at home is you're not giving them enough points there. I think Brook Lopez is out, Drew Holiday's out, Bobby Portis out. They have so many injuries, but I do think Giannis can kind of just say, hey, let's get this job done. We're coming off of a loss to Minnesota, so I think I'm pretty confident that we find a Milwaukee -7 ticket towards the end of the night here. So keep an eye on that pinned comment. I think I'm going to throw that one in there. Again, San Antonio is a pretty competitive. I talked about it last time we picked them and we hit with them. They're pretty competitive against the spread team, but Milwaukee, I feel like, has to come out mad. As long as they have Giannis, as long as they have Chris Middleton, I do feel like they can put up an amazing amount of points and kind of get rid of anybody that they want. Jazz at Bulls. Jazz, 3.5-point favorites as they travel to Chicago here. 217.5 points is the total. I would lean Jazz here, and as good as the Bulls are, they're 4-1 and they're 4-1 against the spread. I'm going to lean Jazz here. This is going to be one where I really am sort of 50-50 in the air whether or not we will pull the trigger on this ticket. But I see the Jazz being able to win this game by 5 or 6 points, and they're getting they're giving up only 3.5 points. Strong lean to the Jazz here. I know the Bulls are sort of the hot new ticket in town, but the Jazz have been good for a couple of years now, and I think that you pull the trigger with the Jazz tonight. Like, this is one that I'm probably putting in the ticket. So make sure to keep an eye on that pinned comment. But as of right now, that's where we're headed. All right, OKC and Golden State. You guys know we've been betting Golden State for pretty much all their games, right? Not today. 12.5 points is too much to give. They just played the Thunder team and only had to give up 8.5 or 9, right? So, and they didn't even cover that, right? So I think I'm off this game because I'm definitely not taking the Thunder. I have no clue what the total will be because you don't know what one side of the ball game, aka the Thunder, you don't know what they're bringing to the table. I hate to say it, Golden State has made us some money this season, but I am staying away from this game. Simple as that. This sore throat is killing me, guys. It's probably killing the picks. I blame that on our record in the last week or so. Nuggets at T-Wolves. T-Wolves are actually 2.5-point favorites. The Nuggets played last night. They beat Dallas big time. They beat them down. But I do think, with the idea they're on a back-to-back and this Minnesota team might be kind of underrated, I could see why the books have Minnesota favored by 2.5. But to be honest, I do still see Denver winning this game. So I'm going to have a strong lean towards Denver, maybe on the money line. I get it, back-to-back. I get it. Some guys were questionable yesterday and they still played. Like, maybe it's old school thinking me to just think that the Nuggets are way better than the Wolves, right? But I'm leaning Denver here. And the fact that they're getting points, I get it, they're on the road. I get it, they're on the tail end of a back-to-back. I'm still leaning Nuggets here. It might not make it into the final play, but it's definitely something that I am considering. All right, last game here. We have the Cavs. We have the Suns. The Suns are giving 10 points to the Cavs. 216 is the total. I love the over here. I love the over here. I've been burned by the Cavs trying to think that they can put up their half of points, but I really love the over here, guys. I don't know why. I have a really good feeling that both of these teams go for 110 plus tonight. That is my pick. I'm not touching that spread. Double digits. No way, no way. Over 216, that is what I'm rolling with. And I think that's going to do it for all of our games tonight. We do have a few plays on the board. Make sure to keep an eye on the pinned comment because we record these super early, you know, anywhere between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. A lot happens throughout the day. I just want to get these out to you guys. And again, hopefully you're still riding. You don't have to take every one of my picks. I've been cold as a freezer lately. Like, I get it. Use what I'm saying to you. If you like it, if it lines up with you, gives you reinforcement to pull the trigger on what you're already thinking, let's do it. But I'm not claiming to hit on 100% of my picks, obviously. We've had a really, really rough stretch here. But I'm still making these videos. I'll take the hate comments. Like, I'm doing this, you know, for fun. I am putting real money into these games, obviously. But I love making these videos and love interacting and seeing what you guys say in the chat. So, in the comments. So, that it is what it is, I guess. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully, we do have ourselves a Saturday night. And make sure to keep an eye on that pinned comment. That'll be the final ticket for me. But yeah, there's my opinion on all the games. I'll catch you guys in the next one.